So, what facilitated your visit to Russia? Why were you interested in lecturing Russian students here today? Like, why did you come here?
My first visit to Russia was in November 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I have found Russians to be very friendly, and I decided I was going to come back. And then when I came back, I stayed at the Metropole, and I found more friendly Russians. And one of the things that I do is I lecture, and I decided I get very excited and passionate about young people learning from my hard lessons. And so I decided I would start offering this same lecture that I offer in the United States and wherever else I do.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's good that we made a good first impression. Like, I'm thanking people that met you, because I'm really glad to hear like this lecture was actually really amazing. I never heard anything like that in my life, and like that's why I studied English, to actually listen and understand the things you said. It's really inspiring.
And maybe 20 years from now, you'll be up here giving this lecture.
I mean, I hope so. Yeah, thank you. I hope so. And what's your opinion on Russian students, and how would you describe them?
I find Russian students to be extremely hardworking, diligent, very intelligent. If they do not understand something, they ask questions, which is always good. Most of them remind me of when I was a student. I worked hard. I actually worked 3 jobs putting myself through college.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the students that I have met, over the years, many of them have part-time jobs to support themselves. They work hard and they keep a positive attitude. I don't hear them saying, "Oh, this isn't right." It's like, I am moving forward. I am getting better every day, and I have this passion for people who want to do that. I want to help them.
Yeah, thank you, actually. That's inspiring. Is there anything you would advise others to study right now while they're young, that you may be neglected at your age? Like something you would advise?
I did not study the science of storytelling. I studied to be a technician.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to communicate. There will come a time in your career where you are going to have to go in front of senior management. They are not technicians, so if you start talking to very senior management like they are technicians, you will bore them and you will lose them. You have to learn to speak to the individual audiences.
Yeah, and like even in your just personal life, I feel like even there it will help you.
Of course.
You are working at a big company, being surrounded by a massive amount of information like every day. How do you filter it, and what do you do to not get overwhelmed and stay productive?
Very carefully, I decide what is important.
Yeah.
Okay, and if I go in there thinking what is important, I keep the focus on the information that is important. Everything else, if it's not relevant to moving the company or the organization forward, moving me forward, it is irrelevant, and it just goes off to the side. It may strike a curiosity, and I will write myself on my note what I don't know. I'm curious about this, and Friday when I sit down and I make my list of what I'm going to study next week, I'll go, I'm curious about that. I'm going to dig into that.
Okay. Yeah, so no actual, maybe when you use social media, like do you use any filters? Do you just, no?
Nope, no filters.
No filters, just your own filter in your mind.
And sometimes it scares people.
Oh yeah, really? Why? Because too much things are going on?
I do things that people think are crazy.
Oh, which are?
My plane was built in 1948.
1948.
1948, and I fly it all over the United States.
That's...
I scuba diving down to 200 meters.
Yeah.
You know, my friends generally say it's amazing that you are still alive. As I've gotten older, I've become more cautious.
I mean, yeah, I guess because of your physical health.
Yeah, and I just, if I put it on social media, it is an unfiltered view of what I see.
Yeah, okay.
Sometimes that unfiltered view is me sitting in a very comfortable chair with my feet propped up, and you see my feet and my living room.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And which questions students should ask themselves every day to stay curious?
To stay curious.
Yeah.
Well, I think the question they should ask themselves today, not to stay curious, they should ask themselves, what did I do yesterday that I can do better today? What adjustments do I need to make? Here, let me show you something. Very few people actually get to view the inside of this book.
I'm excited.
Let's see. What are the results I need out of today? What do I need to do better? Get up in the morning on time with a positive attitude. Explain business. What adjustments do I need to make? Focus on reward for getting up and starting my day with a positive attitude. These are just recent notes I wrote to myself. Good health habits. Try setting an alarm every hour. This way, each hour, on the hour, get up and walk for 5 minutes, because in the IT world, we sit at a desk for 10 hours a day. Improve the stories. These are things I constantly write to myself. Get done. Bring clarity and focus to the mission. How can I help people if I don't have clarity? These are things I constantly, and I write them down. And then I answer myself.
Oh.
And you will, if you were to start way back 4 books ago, you will see those same questions, and they have evolved. The answers are constantly evolving. So when I get up in the morning, this is the first thing I do. This is actually part of my meditation.
Oh, yes?
After I meditate, after I exercise, I sit down with this and I write out everything. And what you didn't see in there, what am I grateful for?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I always try to write down 3 things I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
So what to do every morning? It's start the day
And
understanding yourself.
it's actually like, it's not a checklist, actually.
No.
I know, like, yeah, a lot of people do, like, just checklists of what you need to do today, what can I do tomorrow and everything. But that's actually just the questions that come to your mind, like, at this moment.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. That's interesting. Thank you very much.
You're the first person who's ever seen this. You can't tell anybody what's in it.
I will never, yes. I know you're, you're the expert in security, so I know not to tell your secrets. Yes. One last question.
Yeah.
What's students' chances abroad, and what opportunities are there for them? Yeah.
Abroad, I find a lot of wonderful places to study, but also for employment. The IT industry in the United States is booming. Highly skilled specialists are needed.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have to be skilled. You have to specialize in something. If you're a general practitioner, they'll be like, But if you go in and say, I have this incredible skill in machine learning. There's an Oracle, there's a Microsoft, there's a Cisco, there's a company that says, we want you. Okay, and to study, there's wonderful places to study all over the world. Every place I go, I study. I study the culture, I study the people. Don't narrow it down to just, I'm going in and I'm studying to be a technician. It's like,
Study everything.
I study everything, the art, the people, how art's different from one place to another, how people behave from one place to another.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you very much.
Can you choose the most interesting thing that you have ever studied?
The most interesting thing I've studied?
difficult.
That is a very difficult question. Interesting for me would be art. I am a horrible artist, horrible, and I wanted to learn how to draw. And for me, that was very fascinating. I'm still a horrible artist.
And the second question is, now there are a lot of companies are working at information security, and is it worth it? Because all over the world we can find a man that can hack it and take your information from your phone.
All right, here's the deal on information security. If you're working in the information security arena, your job is to make that environment so difficult that they go, it's not worth it, I'm going on to the next target. They want the easy, high-value targets. That is the criminals. The criminals want easy, high value. So if you make that environment so difficult, they're going to go someplace else. However, if you come under the attention of a national intelligence agency, you're screwed.
Just screwed.
You're screwed.
A lot of people delete their
Social media accounts.
yes, social media accounts from social media. And is it rational because government knows everything, as you?
We would assume the government is professionals and they're not going to be looking at the selfies. They're interested in nefarious bad activity. Can they eventually be used against you? I don't know. Of course they can. Deleting it protects you again from the other people. You know, it protects you from the stalker who goes, hey, you know, I'm going to get to know that guy. And you're like, excuse me, you're weird, go away. You know, they stalk you on social media and they learn everything about you. It also protects you from identity theft. You put too much information on social media, I can derive your identity. I can derive everything to know about you and steal an identity. So deleting it, you're protecting yourself from bad people. The government already has it. Just accept that as a fact.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much. Yes.